She has something drawn that looks like this. She has her unit circle, of course. You know, I kind of missed the rest of it. Can you tell me? I saw your unit circle. Tell me what else you have in there.
A line at -1/2.
A line, a vertical or horizontal?
Vertical.
Vertical line at -1/2. And where did that come from? I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here. I'm not sure about it yet, but we're gonna see if that's right. Where did you get that?
Subtract the 4 and divide by 3.
Okay, wait a second. So, did you start by doing this? So you subtracted 4. And divided by 2. Okay, so now it's clear where we got the -1/2. Would you agree? Now, somewhere in all that, though, I missed something, and that is I want F, this is F, to be less than G. So this is really cosine is less than -1/2. So Lydia said that on the unit circle, this is where the cosine is exactly 1/2, negative. And what angles are those? Two pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, right? So that's where we are exactly equal. Now technically, I think these are supposed to be open dots, just because we do not have an or equal to in the problem. Now where am I shading? I want the cosine to be less than -1/2. So that would be left, wouldn't it? So I'm going to shade the part of the unit circle that is left. And therefore, what is my answer? The interval from 2 pi over 3 to 4 pi over 3. Does that look okay to everybody? I want to caution you, because you just have to keep your eyes open. If this had been a greater than, absolutely nothing would change, except we'd be shading that way, right? Now, that would look like this. Be careful when you write your answer, because the directions say you have to be between 0 and 2 pi. It does not make any sense to say 4 pi over 3 to 2 pi over 3. That does not make any sense, because when you do an interval, it has to be little number and then big number. So how would I write that? It's going to take 2 pieces. What are the 2 pieces that are going to describe this if it were a greater than? What would be the 2 pieces? Where do I start? So it would be 0 to 2 pi over 3. And by the way, is 0 shaded? Yep. And then where do I start again? So I start at 0, I go this way, I stop shading at 2 pi over 3, and then I start again at 4 pi over 3. And stop at 2 pi. Notice 2 pi is not included. Yes, it is. Sorry, it is. So be careful of that. Sometimes, even though your shading is one continuous piece, your answer cannot be one continuous piece because of that. Okay. All right, so let's try number 4. All right, how do you think we should start? I have to drink some more stuff. Who has an idea? Come on, guys, you cannot feel any worse than me. Let's go. Yeah. So 3 cosine x, and what this time it is greater than root 3 plus cosine? All right, how are we gonna solve that? Subtract. I'll subtract that cosine, so 2 cosine x is greater than root 3, and cosine x is greater than root 3 over 2. This is gonna be one of those I just talked about. So if you use a unit circle, and last time we were together, I talked about you can actually use a cosine curve. For some people, that's easier. Most of you are so proficient with your unit circle, you just like to use it. Where does the cosine equal positive root 3 over 2? What? Pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. So those are my 2 answers. So there's my line. I'm going to use a line like Louis did. And this time I'm going to shade greater than the line. So that's going to be over here. If you get excited, you'll say, hey, I've shaded everything from 11 pi over 6 to pi over 6. Can't write an interval, or can't write an interval that way. Okay, it's got to be a little big. If you turned it around and did this, then it would say the wrong thing. Does everybody understand that? That would say this. So you're going to have to split this. What is your actual answer going to be? 0 to pi over 6. 0 included. Pi over 6 is not. And then
11 over 6 is 2 pi.
you got it. All right. Now's when the fun begins. I know, this was fun. Let's look at number 5. So 2 sine squared. Plus sine. Rest. Okay, what do you think we should do? Factor it. Yeah, it's quadratic. Let's factor it. And then we have 2 sine plus 1. So whatever else is happening, please don't say this. I know it's tempting, but don't say that. What's wrong with that? What does this mean? Less than 0. What does that mean? Less than 0 means negative. So if both of these things are negative, will their product be negative? No. The only way the product can be negative is if what? One is positive and one is negative. So you can approach the problem that way, if you wish. I need one of them to be positive and the other one to be negative, or vice versa. Now, is everybody okay with this? Because it is so tempting to do that less than, and that will be wrong every time. You gotta think about what's going on. Okay, let's look at this situation first. These are 2 separate situations. Okay, 2 separate situations. This one and this one. So we're gonna do this one first. So where on the unit circle is the sign 0? Right here and right here, right? So here is where it's 0. Where is it less than 0? All of this. Where is the sign -1/2? There should be red too. Wouldn't it be -1/2 like here and here? What are those angles? 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. I got it kind of in the wrong spot, but you got the idea, right? They're in those 2 quadrants. And I need them to be bigger than that. Greater than. So where does that happen? Here's that line. Here's that blue line. Where does that happen? Above. Now we have done half the problem. So what is our answer to the first half of the problem? It has to be both of these things. So I'm looking for red and blue. Would you say that pi to 7 pi over 6, pi to 7 pi over 6, would you say that that's one of the answer, or part of the answer? What's the other part for this problem? What's the other part? 11 pi over 6 to 2 pi. Very good. We cannot say 0 because we're going this way, and that's 2 pi. Yep, Charlie?
Is the 2 pi bracketed? 'Cause
No.
It's not.
Because those dots are open.
Ah, gotcha.
If I had shaded there, yes, not this time. Right, you're half done. Now, the good news is, the second half of the problem is going to have exactly the same dots. So depending on how astute you are and how organized you are, you don't need to redraw. You're gonna have dots at 0 and pi. And this time, you're gonna be greater than those. And you're gonna have dots at 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. And this time you're going to be less than those. So you don't need to redraw your circle if you can keep it all organized. What's the answer to that case? Can't happen, right? So this is the only answer to the problem. These are not hard, but you have got to pay attention to this. All right, so I am going to give you and your partner, while I finish my wonder drug here, I am going to give you and your partner a chance to do example 6. And if there is anyone who feels comfortable putting it on the board, that would be great. If not, I can do it. Let's start it together. What are you gonna do with this guy? Factor it. Now be careful, it's a different kind of factoring than the last one. Because it's got an extra term in it. So what are the factors gonna look like? 2 cosine. Minus 1 plus 1. Just double check, make sure those signs are right. I think they are. If you're bothered by that, lean over and ask your partner. Now, this time, these two are being multiplied to be positive. So what does that mean about them? They are both positive, so cosine is bigger than or equal to 1/2. Cosine is bigger than or equal to -1. This time it's an or equal to. Or they're both negative. Numbers are the same, dots are going to be the same, shading will be the opposite. All right. Anybody know when choir's coming back? For some reason, I thought it was today.
I think it's like tomorrow.
What about that?
Then it's like dot, dot, dot. It's all the same things.
But one of them is the other way. Just try to do a dot.
Yeah, it's that one.
Could you try not to do that? So this means do the value of that, so it's literally just gonna be. That's it.
Baby everywhere.
Stress me. It's just,
Wait,
That's what I thought, but she didn't do that. She didn't, yeah, I thought that earlier, but then she.
What do you get over, Joe? What do you get over?
I got 0 is 5 or 6.
I see what you guys are saying. I think it's just the number one, but I think also
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
the answer is
So, is everybody
positive or both negative.
okay with the setup here? Everybody gets this part, right? So where's the cosine in 1/2? This is our equal to, so I'm gonna have a solid dot over here, a solid dot over here. The cosine is 1/2 right here. What are those angles? Pi over 3. And pi over 3, perfect. And I wanna be bigger than, so this would be the black part. Would everybody agree with that? If I do this in black? Alright, where is the cosine -1? Here. And where is the cosine bigger than -1?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. So what is the answer to the first part of the problem? What's blue and black?
0 to
0 to pi over 3,
and 5 pi over 3 to 2 pi.
and 5 pi over 3 to 2 pi, perfect. So 0 to pi over 3, and 5 pi over 3 to 2 pi, perfect.
Why would pi not be in there? Because wouldn't that be equal to 0? They'd both be equal to 0.
Wait a second. In order to, I'm only answering this part of the question, and it says the cosine has to be bigger than 1/2. That does not happen over here.
I was thinking about the second.
Okay, I haven't gotten to that yet. Okay? Now we'll do the second half of the question, which is essentially the same dots, but now shaded the opposite way. So I'm gonna have pi over 3, 5 pi over 3. And this time I'm less than, so that would be all this. Would you agree with that? And then I've got my pi, my -1, as Leo said. But since I gotta be less than that, that dot's it, right? And in fact, if that hadn't been there, then it would be nothing. But it is there, so I'm gonna count that point. So this whole spot's black, just that's blue. So as Leo pointed out, in addition to these two, which we got from our first circle, we have theta equals pi as a possible answer to the question, because it is shaded, both colors. Did any groups get it right? Somebody did, that is wonderful. All right. Well, let's do 14, check your understanding. You are gonna need a calculator for some of this at least. So let's go ahead and do 13, check your understanding. I'm gonna have you put the problems on the board. Feel free to sanitize the marker before you use them, or use one from the back of the room. You don't wanna touch anything I touched, I understand that perfectly.
Wait a second.
If you come to the board, you can use these markers right here. Just put them back in that box when you're done. I haven't touched them, so it'll be fine.
Oh, we, nope. I literally, I was like, oh, I was on Thomas.
Usually that.
Oh, you took care of that one? You did.
It doesn't matter.
So I just wrote 6. I just did 9x.
Yeah. Yeah, number 2, you're gonna need a calculator for.
Oh, really? Are we on the back of the page? Okay, I think we have. She said
3. What? 3, no, 3. Oh, 3,
Well, it's just gonna be one rotation. Yeah, well, did you consider it before?
Whatever.
No, no, it's not that. For this. Oh, it's right. So I'm trying to recommend. This is one rotation.
halfway.
So it's either gonna be these two.
Like,
You know how your sign is like, yeah, but it's still part of the circle.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because when that,
Remember the angle?
But I'm thinking it's
oh, and that's
Pi over 3.
or if you want to be something points, we calculated
So,
like,
Number 3.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
it's like-
solve it,
it's
set
like-
it equal to 0 and solve it, that will give you the exercise.
Yeah, what's one there, what's the other bound?
right, but.
yes,
Divide 4.
so if I were to, then you subtract pi over 2, no? You
Well,
subtract
that's
pi.
what sine mean the angles. Yep, yep, yep.
You say you need these written on.
Yeah, you can use the markers in the box.
Maybe it's like-
Stay on this side, or this side.
She poses something like that.
And then put your marker back in the box.
Why did I do that? Oh, wait.
That's just what we always do.
Only use intuition.
Divide 2 pi by
Oh. Always that.
Leo, are you guys done with all these?
I am.
Alright, put something on the board then, will you? Use the markers in the box.
What number 2 is yours?
Yeah, I got it.
I don't know how far you got. Did you get number 3? How did those answers look to you? Those look okay? Everybody catch the dastardly plus or minus in there that trips us up sometimes? Number 1, number 2. I don't know if it makes a difference, Leah, truly I don't, but the way you have the answer in the 2, and your numbers are correct. Your numbers are correct. But the way you have it written, it looks almost like it's an interval, and it really isn't. It's really 2 separate numbers. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're probably better to write that one as theta equals 0.848, theta equals 2.294. All right, where's the brave person that's doing Patty's problem?
Patty should do it.
Who's doing it?
I think Patty should do it. It's his problem.
Oh, yes, we do have a Patty in here, don't we?
I don't feel too good about this one.
You don't feel good about it? Sydney, how you feel about Patty?
Kind of similar.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, it's right there.
Sanford, how you feel about Patty's problem?
Oh, I'm still trying to figure out 2.
Okay. What has you confused about 2? Are you gonna come up closer?
Uh-oh, where's the 7 from?
Yeah, I see this sign.
I don't think that's a 7, I think that's a 3.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, true.
Yeah, you guys should grade some of these papers. Mhm. Yeah, that's a 3. So he typed into his calculator, second sign, 0.75 or 3/4, and up came 0.848. And then he remembered that there are 2 places where the sign is a positive number, and the other one would be a 0.848 angle in quadrant 2, which would be pi minus 0.848. All right, Jeff? Sam, you got it?
Yeah, I get it. I'm just like typing things in.
Okay. And basically, did you get Patty's problem? No. No. Kate, you're grinning from ear to ear. Did you get Patty's problem? Come on up.
I mean, I'm still working on it.
Well, we're gonna have to get busy here, so let's see what we got. about what we know in Patty's problem. Whether or not you wanna go to all this effort, that's up to you. But let's do a quick sketch. We have a negative cosine curve with no phase shift. Would you agree with that? Which means that whatever it's going to look like, it's gonna start at the bottom and end at the bottom. All right, so what do we know about this curve? It has a midline of 23. And it has an amplitude of 20, which means it goes down to 3 and up to 43. Still with me? Since there's no phase shift, it starts right here. It goes up and comes down, and that is one period. Now, speaking of period, what is a period? Well, period for a cosine is 2 pi divided by, in this case, pi over 4. Did you get a period of 8? So this is 8. Now remember, Patty is on the Ferris wheel. He gets on, goes up, sits down, the Ferris wheel takes him up and comes back down. So that is one trip around. But according to the problem, he is going to make 3 trips. So we are going to have to replicate that. And I didn't really leave enough room, so I'm going to fudge it a little bit. We're going to do that 3 more times. So or 2 more times. So there's 1, and there's 2. Now I know because that's 8, this will be 16, and this will be 24. Agreed? Now, what do I want to know? How many minutes does one ride last? Well, one ride is up and down 3 times. This is the longest Ferris wheel I've ever seen in my life, but it takes 24 minutes to do that. Find all the times at which Patty is exactly 40 feet above the ground. So remember, that's 43. So I need to know this point, and this point, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Now, before you start freaking out, you don't really, we're gonna find all 6, but remember, once we have these 2, those will just be plus 8. That'll be easy. We just need to find those. So we need to find where negative 20 cosine pi t over 4 plus 23 equals 40. Would you agree with me? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and solve that. So, subtracting 17. So cosine pi t over 4 equals negative 17/20. Now I do not want you to get messed up by this. Doesn't this just say the cosine of something equals negative 17/20? I don't really care at this point what the something is. I just need to figure out what angle am I going to take the cosine of and get negative 17/20? Well, how do I figure that out? Inverse cosine, that number. So second cosine, negative 17/20. I got 2.587. So this guy right here is 2.587. So the first time he gets to 40 feet is 2.587. Okay? Now, what's this up here?
4.
That'd be 4. Wouldn't that be 4, guys? Right? So now I gotta figure out this one. I can do it really, really easily. Isn't this gonna be the same as this? So whatever the difference is here. Oh, time out. Wait a second. Oh, ignore everything I just said. No, not that part. But I forgot. I said X, so X turned out to be, what was it? I just erased it. 2.587.
2.587.
But I'm finding T. So pi T over 4, that angle right there, has to equal 2.587. This guy right here is 2.587. The cosine of 2.587 is negative 17/20. So I gotta figure out what T is. So I'm gonna take this guy times him by 4 and divide by pi. And my T is actually 3.294. That's better. Okay, don't make the same mistake I did. Remember, when you typed it into your calculator, you were finding this angle, which is fine. But that angle is not X. So I have to take that, whatever that my calculator said, and solve for T. Now, this is the same as this. So what is the distance from 3.294 to 4? 0.706. So I'm gonna add that to 4. 4.706. So on the first go around, Patty gets to 40 feet after 3.29 minutes and after 4.7 minutes. Now, there are 4 more answers, but again, they're easy because we're just gonna take these two and add 8. So 11.294 and 12.706. And then we'll add another 8 and get 19.294 and 20.706. Those are not intervals because it doesn't say at which time is he at least 40 feet above the ground. It says when is he exactly 40 feet above the ground. So those would be the 6 answers. That make sense to you? Alright, so what you're gonna do now is you are going to do homework 3.10. Kind of a tough one. So if you want to get started on it, and then maybe tomorrow we can take a question or two, that's fine. I also want you to grab on your way out our next set of notes. The moment you have been waiting for is here. We're starting the secret
I love this.
Wait, no, Thursday. Thursday, no school on Wednesday except for some of us. Guess what I'll be doing, lucky me.